Hey, what's going on, everybody? Geronimo 22 coming back. Gonna do a little post-mortem on the game. Good victory for the Niners. Take a look at the defense, obviously, of Fangio, and see what kind of defenses they played. Okay, so we get right into it. I'm not gonna be able to spend as much time on each play because we got 71 plays to go through. So take a look at it one time, see if we can pick up some little things in there and go from there. First play is a little toss zone, outside zone play. Defense does a great job fitting this one up pretty good. We'll see from the beginning, they're in that too high shell look. Niners motion over, nickel runs. That's the passing strength. And then they're going to rotate their safety down to play cover three. So they're in the cover three defense. Nickel got to take on is the force defender, does a good job. The film will pause like this every now and then, so we just got to bear with that a little bit, but nothing crazy here, guys. This is just cover three defense. Cover three probably seam in the Madden world. This one gets boxed up pretty good. Good job by 33. Good job by the rest of the crew just running. Second and 12. Again, personnel wise, a lot of 21 personnel. So we're starting here. We're pretty much in like a deuce close play. And this is the big pass play. I want to see how and why this happened. I'm not sure how much time, what's the percentage of cover four. But looking at some of the clips earlier, it looked like there was a little bit more cover three in this game than I kind of anticipated. So let's go back on this one from the beginning. All right, so we have a too high shell. The safety starting to walk down. You can see over here at the bottom of the screen. A little early. With all that motion, they got to try to time it up the best way they can. And I'm definitely thinking that this is a cover three defense. I don't think we're playing quarters to this side of the field. By the way, the safety comes running down to take this ends up becoming a wheel route. So he takes that wheel. So I'm thinking this is cover three. Just playing it from high. They must have had some type of game plan to this side of the field, to the three-man surface side. Over here, this corner, it's just locked up on Robinson, who had a really good day. He gave him a little double move. Corner squatted on it. Got beat to the inside. Now, cover three wise, it's funny. And more I look at this, maybe this is a bastardized version of quarters. At the end of the day, this player right here is basically matched up man on number one, right? If they are playing like, hey, we're going to play lock quarters, this safety's going to take number two. This corner is going to take number one. Pre-snap, we don't care if they switch. We're just going to play it out. And that's probably what it is, because I'm looking at this player here is a quarter flat defender. I think he's coming out to play the flat. It's pretty sure of that. Just a lot of attention to 44 on that play. I'm not sure why. Good run after the catch. See nice high throw. It was a good spot by Purdy. Missed tackle by the free safety, 39. I'm not sure I know who that is. All right, first and 10. Good design with just a double move route. I mean, it was pretty simple. I get if you're playing a match team like the Eagles are, you should get the outside individual game, right? Little deuce close formation, quick hike. Looks like a little inside zone play. The running game was not popping for the Niners, and those two big guys in the middle, they do a nice job making plays. 90 does his job pretty well. You can see the quick move by the other tackle. Made it the easy fit. All right, second and 9. Trips formation. Looks like we're going to get like a return route by the tight end. And then we get the running back doing an option route. So this is what I was talking about before. The option route here stems up straight. He's reading leverage. So that defender's outside leverage. If he's looking at him, he's outside leverage. So he has the ability to run back in, right? Run that little kind of like semi short post. Now, this ball is thrown late and with a little bit of loft. I am not sure why. We can see it from the end zone. I mean, Robinson at the bottom down here is not giving much effort on this route. I'm not sure why. He's tired probably or something. He's just kind of running off the coverage, right? And from a progression standpoint, I think Purdy did. I think he's holding off. He knows where he's kind of going here. He's looking down the middle of the field. So from a coverage standpoint, I apologize. It looks like we are again in some sort of hybrid cover three. Now, if you guys know about this, I forgot what they called this, but if you watch Cody Alexander talks about that these guys will play a cover three version where if the running back is really good, like a wide receiver, it turns into basically like a three sky or three match week where he would try to man up on him, right? If this guy was not so good or he just stayed in block, it could turn into a three buzz where this guy goes this way and he sits in the middle of the field, looks to help out on things like this. So for this game plan, I'm pretty sure it was a lot of the three sky, three match week type of deal to get the safety to go play this guy. But he goes running down so far, he just gets beat across his face. And then our boy, number 39, gets caught. I think he probably thinks the ball's going to the receiver and he doesn't play it right. So very interesting. Niners did a good job holding up to in the protection game, having the big man Trent Williams back helped a little bit, I think, but also interior looked pretty good, right? I mean, Purdy has a lot of time to sit there and wait. And this ball actually got tipped, if I remember correctly, from watching it in the game. All right, so now we're down first, and this is their first drive. That, you guys have probably seen the game. They're gonna end up scoring on this drive. Got gun, dude's close. You got kind of that tilted motion. He runs across regular. They run counter, coming back. It's a good number of yards. The defense is in what I would call like a it's kind of hard to say what this is exactly. We got five guys on the line right here. Kind of like an even front. I was going to say it was a penny front, just shifted over, but good job with the block here on 98. Nice job by the tackle. It's good yards down there. I'm not going to say it's the best, but it's good enough to get some yards. See it from this angle. All right, we got second and second, second and two from the two, second and goal, 2 yards to go. You get the jet motion action, fake flip, and nice little like play action. I don't want to say this is an RPO. It's purely a play action, but it's in that family of like, hey, we're faking two different runs, and then we come back here with this little slant. Good job by five on this one, right? Give him a little something. Slow the guy to sleep. Poor feet by the corner. But again, we're pretty much in some sort of goal line defense, man defense, and the corner gets beat 27. All right, so that was a good first drive. I mean, there were some plays in there that you can see was schemed up. You can see the double move plays that were in there. It was a good first drive. Shanahan's always pretty good at having a good first drive. Fangio looks like he's playing a little more some sort of almost kind of hybrid, either split safety but aggressive with the safety coming down, and then some cover three in there mixed in there, which is pretty standard for a first drive, right? You get a feel for each other. I think the next couple drives here for like maybe two or three or four is pretty much going to become wins for the defense, right? For Fangio. So we'll see what kind of adjustments they make. I don't know why this is on the film. Let me skip by this. All right, so first and 10. Fangio's in a five-man front now, so base 3-4 defense. A little fake motion, toss weak, right? Still zone blocking up front for the most part. Some good yards, not bad. 50 is your edge setter over here. He does a pretty good job, I think. See everybody else moves to the ball. Got a missed block by 15. Why he did a good job. Coverage wise, my fault. Looks like it's quarters. Some form of quarters here. All right, it's pretty simple. Average yards there. Can move. Say that's a success, a win for the offense. I don't think I get down in distance here. I do. 2nd and 6. We get kind of a bunch like formation, but it's really just 3-by-1 nub. Backside, we talk about it, right? You expect the option route game to be coming out this side, and they do. So we get the 7 route by Kittle and the option route underneath. It looks like this is quarters coverage again, like a soft quarters. You see how deep these safeties are back here. And then this guy is the guy we're optioning off of. So this quarter flat defender's outside, so I expect the inside throw. He didn't take it. We'll see from the end zone why he didn't take that. He assumed that, Kittle did a good job with his stem. He has to get outside, kind of stems him. He kind of works outside shoulder. The corner doesn't let him cross his face, which is how I would coach it too. Good job by the corner. They're saying pass interference. No, if you don't change his route, you could put hands. You guys saw a lot of calls this weekend where a lot of times there were no calls. If you're looking back for the ball, you're looking through the receiver, and you don't like knock him over, you can get hands on him in the NFL. This whole thing, you can't touch people past 5 yards. It's not true. The refs told us that every single camp. Come in there and let us know how it goes. The main thing is you have to be looking at the ball. You can't be doing it not looking at the ball. All right. So that was a drop, or that was a incompletion. This is 3rd down, I believe, right? So again, we're attacking. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I wish I should have done like a video against this, but the funny thing is that this is kind of how I think they're going to end up having to win again next week. You want to get a team that's going to play a lot of outside man-to-man, either be quarters or cover 3, cover 1, isolation routes on the outside. Got to be it. A lot of teams who are good will press with their corners, right? And say, hey, we're not going to let you get that free release. But right now, we're just getting this little 7 cut or this little out cut, really more just a true out, and we're throwing it on time. And good job by Purdy getting out of his hands. I do believe this is short of the first down, right? Oh, no, it's not. Why do first downs look different? This one's down here, and the other one is way up there. It's weird. I think the first down marker was in a different spot. It's at 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 7, 3rd and 7, right? I think. Anyway, route concept, that's just pure individuals on the outside. That's what it looks like with the option route on the opposite side. So he took it, and it was, let's see what it was here. See an end zone view of this real quick. Got pressure there, but still able to throw on pressure and face some pressure. Yeah, that was a punt. So not happy with the route obviously being run that short. You know what I mean? That's the good old John Madden thing. Don't run a route short of the sticks, but that's what happened. All right, 1st and 10. You see now, so the second drive wasn't that great. Had some decent play design, but we get bunch strong. Already walking down to a cover 3 look. Nothing there. Like zone blocking, just regular inside zone. Really nothing there for the offense. So even though they were, that's a good call there. Again, coming down in cover 3 weak, I call it, where the safety weak is coming down. Good against the run. You get an extra hat right there. They're learning to push. If it was a pass, they would have to push their underneath responsibilities. 2nd and 9. Little wing set. Out route. The funny thing is that Cooper is actually in pretty good leverage here. It looks like we're playing, I'm assuming, another 3, or it could be that quarters. So again, they're kind of playing around. This is what they're known for. Like, we don't know if this is 3 or quarters. Now, we can look at this safety and say, oh, well, he should go to the middle of the field, which is what it looks like he does there, right? So that kind of gives me a tell that this is cover 3. We're just playing this match version style of cover 3, right? So he's going to take the vertical here. We're going to lock on to him, which is interesting. And then our cover 3 leverage here. Safety and nickel should be outside leverage. He is to start, but this route is actually stemmed outside like this, and then he still gets outside. So that's attacking the leverage and winning, which they must have seen in the game film that we can still run outside even though they have outside leverage, right? These nickels or whatever, they're not necessarily staying outside. At least that's how we started. To me, that's a little close for comfort. Ball has to be thrown on time. And I know later on they start jumping that more and more, but yeah, I don't know. It just, to me, I would think we'd have a little better plan for a team that's playing you. But here's the deal. I guess this is the bind. So I'm talking out loud with you. If it's quarters coverage, that nickel is what leverage? He's inside. If it's cover three, he's outside. Now, can you see it to start? You should, but maybe they play head up and they kind of play around with that. So you don't quite know exactly what it is. But I would look at potential rotation. And once you see the rotation happen with the safeties from a quarterback standpoint, you may not want to risk that throw. But that's a whole other story. I don't know. We're not getting, like, as they say, coverage reads all the time. All right. The classic deep dig, deep crossers, pretty much two deep guys. One guy goes to the flat up top. And then we get our back over here checking through. Big out. He's just checking down. All right. So this turns into a scramble. We'll see why it turned into a scramble. That was third down. Again, I don't get the concept here on third down. So we can look at it from the coverage standpoint before I move on. This looks like a version of quarters, but we don't know exactly if it's that's just that. It looks like regular quarters. No, at the top I'm looking. At the bottom, this looks like cover six, right? Bottom is cover two. The top is quarters. We're getting kind of like a soft zone here with the underneath. So I know Fangio has stuff, and he has oh, I forgot what he calls the other one. Oh, I'm thinking about cover four. He has quads and he has stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, no, stuff is one of his cover sixes. But he has a zone version of his cover six, right? It's not all match coverage. Some of it is actually just zone. So we could be playing like match kind of in the back end, but underneath we're playing zone. And the reason why I know that is that's how we played it with Denver. Wade had the same defense. Wade's base cover six was used on third down just for this reason. And it was to play a hybrid version of match deep, a soft match deep, and underneath we play zone. Yeah, I just don't know. I guess the middle of the field is kind of what we're attacking here, but I don't think Purdy had time to do this. And this is hard to tell for a quarterback if this guy's in the window. It's kind of hard to get that depth perception. But if you look at that on film, you can say, oh, well, this guy's running into the open spot where nobody's matching him, right? So look at it on film. Look at it from this angle real quick. He probably just doesn't have time to see this. So the design is actually not horrible. It's just the pass rush one on this one. See, if he had time to kind of sit in there or step up and see this, he probably might have thrown it, but Purdy just kind of said, I'm going to use my legs here. So, all right. So we're done with that. That was the end of that series, right? 14-7, putting. It just, that route concept still just feels incomplete. It just feels like two guys are running deep and we're going to attack, I guess, this cover six. If it wasn't cover six, I don't see that beating any other coverage, right? So 1st and 10. Where are we at to? In the second quarter with 6 minutes to go. So the Eagles didn't do great on offense, but they moved the ball enough to keep the ball in the Niners' hands, at least in the first half. Get to an empty look. Okay, so we're back to this. We talked about this concept. We're going to get down here, an option route concept, right? You guys should know it. You should love it by now. Just doing it in a different formation here, here, here. And then we're probably getting a 7 stop or a 7, right? And this can all change, like depending on how teams are playing you, they can do different things there. We're going to get somebody running here. We're going to get somebody running here to get that levels and then probably get a check down. So you guys have seen this concept. I did a whole video on this, what I think they're trying to do. The name doesn't matter, but it's pretty much that option route to one side with a nice levels concept on the backside. And sometimes he reads it front side, sometimes he reads it backside, and I think that depends on coverage. So I'm just kind of learning as we go here, but we're definitely showing the cover three. We're walking down to it, playing kind of like a 3-week again. So this player here is outside leverage. So I'm assuming that this player here is going to hook up or go to the middle. If they know they're playing zone, he's probably just going to hook up. He took it outside. Very interesting. Now, sometimes in Niners offense, they do allow this guy to work out regardless. Like they will call it um, choice out, which means it looks like a choice, but it's out. You don't have just a choice, right? So you guys go back and watch my videos on the Niners system. I've talked about the whole choice out and how it works. But again, this is a read. It's a read. This is it could be talked about on the sideline. Like, hey, we're going to take it outside no matter what, right? Good timing, good throw. I think Kittle came into the game kind of bruised up. I think that's when he blew his Achilles. I don't know. There was that run play earlier on too that somebody kind of stepped on the back of his foot on that counter play they ran. So I'm not quite sure what happened, but I guess they didn't want to show that angle. All right, let's go with. I wonder if that's a new thing. They don't show injuries anymore. They show them on TV for damn sure. Got empty motion back to backfield. Looks like we're getting a version of. Oh, I think this is kind of what I was talking about. Let me see the middle safety. Yeah. So we're playing this kind of cover three, right? Where it could be our version of 3 weak, three sky, but it's match mode. Or he could go here and he can go out there. So I think they have a call for that. I'm not sure why they would do this here because I think McCaffrey is the one going out to the flat. I would probably want to keep the safety on him. There's a chance that there's a bust and the safety here just sees it and says, oh, well, I guess I'm going to go become three buzz, basically. Gets kind of turned around, but it worked out for him. Middle safety is definitely playing middle of the field. This is actually a nice. This is what I was talking about. If you know you're getting cover three, you already did this, and maybe it was a setup. Remember when we forced that out ball over here? Well, he takes that same release and then he goes right up the seam, and he's going to stay outside leverage because it's three seam. That kind of opens up that little gap right there. So maybe that wasn't set up what we saw earlier, or they came right back to it pretty quickly. So I like that type of adjustment. I mean, he's waiting on this, right? I mean, we really got a sell job, right? 15. Look how extended he is. That ball should be out. Could have been out maybe a little sooner. These middle safeties are taking horrible angles. I can talk about why. Yeah, I know why. So we always taught safeties here. A little safety lesson is that when you're in the middle of the field, you're not going to get a lot of interceptions down here on like seam balls, stuff like that. You're going to get if the ball is tipped up to you, then you're going to get a pick potentially, right? So play for those things most of the time. But in general, you have to see when you know it's a pass right here or right beforehand. We always say eyes before feet. So you want to check the angle of the receiver, right? Before you make a decision on which angle you're going to go at. So it looks like he already made up his mind that, oh, okay, I'm going to go tackle him here because that's what he perceived the route to be. But this route's a little bit more steep. So he should have been taking an angle to where he could meet him. So eyes, check the receiver before you decide with your feet where to go. A lot of DBs do the opposite. They move ahead of time before their eyes tell them where to go. Like he's already started to move that way because he says, "Oh, that's where the ball's going," but this ball's going to be kind of like undercut. This guy also slips, but I think he realizes he was taking a bad angle. So we'll see from the end zone angle from Purdy's view how it looks. It's got to get a little bit of DB school in there every now and then. These are little coaching points that I know most coaches talk about. Let's see from this angle. You really can't see the safety too much. You see the bottom of his feet. Yeah. So it is like he thought it was more like a skinny seam or a skinny post. It was like a dig, right? So still not great. It happens every now and then, but don't want that to happen too often. All right, 1st and 10. Sorry, got to pause the film for a second. Real life happens in the background. I get a chance to keep it going. So sorry about that delay. Here we go. So we got a little screenplay here. Nothing crazy. Good design though. Kind of looks like a little swing, and then we hit the screen. I'll take it. Gotta get yourself a screen, especially down here in the high red zone. Little deuce close, motion, little toss. So it's no different than coming out like almost an I formation strong, running toss strong. The good thing is that you kind of get it to kind of, it's hard for them to set their big people to where the ball's going to go. They have no idea which direction this is going to go in. All right, 31. I don't know how 23 trips in this play. Another trip. That one is just a turf monster. I mean, we're going to see it from both angles here. He just tripped over his own feet. Like he stuttered and just went down. It's crazy. Watch this. Like, there's nothing going on with anybody touching him. Right there. Like that's a very weird situation going on. I don't know what that's all about. 4th and 2. I think we ended up getting the field goal. Was this the one where we decided to go for it, then we called timeout, then we kicked the field goal? Pretty sure that's what happened on that one. All right, so I think that's the end of the first half. If there was another drive, we're gonna find out. Okay, no, we did get one more drive. All right, 151 left. When we see Fangio's not doing much, that's crazy. This is a 3 buzz. That's a good cutback run right there. So if Shanahan's known to start outside early just to end up working this kind of mid zones or tight zones later, right? 2nd and 6. So we get a little soft quarter action here. This route is eaten up. I mean, we get just a high low to the top, and then we get just a little 2 PO at the bottom. 2 press out, 2 runs it out, whatever that might be, stick, ranch, whatever. You would think that we hope the tight end can win, but I guess he couldn't. Purdy comes back and like the dig is not even close to being there, and then now we're getting pressure. So I just again I don't love that route. I think the dig is still there, even though they're playing such soft quarters. We got cross king going on back here and everything. But it has to be thrown on time. And obviously Purdy he's getting harassed right now, so I don't expect him to throw the ball. So that was one of the first times the pass rush did a good job. But right there, the right tackle just turnstile. It's not Mike McGlinchey where we used to get turnstile all the time at the right tackle spot. Those days are over. Thank goodness. Another soft quarters in this situation here. There goes the comeback. So you can see it when I'm calling it soft quarters because the DBs are so deep. They're not really locking on anybody because they're playing so deep. They'll lock on late, like this guy right here. I mean, he doesn't run a real route, so it's hard to tell. But look at the 3 rec, like he's in the middle getting depth. So it's almost like we're getting that zone underneath kind of match quarters by the deep guys, right? You can see this player here at the bottom of the screen, right? He's going to end up matching his guy. All that good stuff is there. We still get the good old option route concept, but the comeback is there. That's an NFL throw by Purdy right here all day, but that's from one hash to the sideline, right? Not the deepest throw. It's only 12 yards, but that's a good throw by him. Look at it from this view. Good protection. All right, so got the yards there. Again, the outsides are going to be there for us, right? They don't play any real cover 2 or any type of coverage where there's a high low on the outside. Okay, Niners have been running this little flood concept. I think they were ready for something like that. Again, this could be a version of quarters where you just got a poach player on the backside. He's just kind of showing down, but he's looking for anything coming deep down the middle. Like whoever becomes the number three. The route that should be open here, from looking at this, we get a runoff here, but this guy needs to really be busting it. Should be this corner route. The guy that does a good job is Cooper. But Cooper DeJean is the flat defender. Again, we're playing kind of the soft quarters. You see how he turns to the inside so he can kind of have an angle to help out any type of deep uh, route in the deep part of the flat. So he's kind of like playing like a cover two corner, but he's sitting there in between. So that's what makes Purdy say, I'm not going to trust it, right? And then kind of throw the ball to the guy in the flat. So good job by Cooper there. I like that. Technique, I used to always tell those guys, if you're a flat defender and like there's nobody outside you, there's no reason to turn your back to the quarterback. Just flip your hips, look at the quarterback, and you can see more. You do more. Even though you're a flat defender, like playing like a quarter flat or a cover three cloud flat, curl flat, I'm sorry, you're going to turn into almost like a cloud flat. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how you can look at it. See here, we got a little bit of a hold up. Probably going to be quarters again. Linebackers get shifted up a little bit. Again, it's just so interesting how like this whole backside back here is. You think it's going to be like a cover two, but it's really just quarters. I mean, he's just watching one. He's on him. He's on him. They kind of give me that shell that looks like a cover two shell, but it's quarters. So that route is eaten up. The bottom down here. Okay, so we kind of get just the classic. We're gonna run a drag by the outside guy, something inside, right? And then we're gonna get this kind of return. That's kind of like your last option in the progression. I didn't look at Purdy's eyes, so we'll take a look to see if this is where he kind of falls back to at the end. He's looking down the middle. I think he's just looking down the middle. Pick a side. I think that's the side he took. And he had him open. I just don't know what happened. I think this was a drop. This is the new receiver, right, that came up. It was a drop. He had him. Let's look at Purdy's eyes from this view. Down the middle. Yeah, he knows where he wants to go with the ball. I don't think he's looking to the right, really, but even though he kind of looks there a little bit. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're more known as a pure progression, but there are times where I think they do use coverage reads. We'll see it more. Like once in a blue, like once they kind of get a feel for what's going on, they will use them, I think. Phil freezes up here. We are like in a 2 minute kind of mode, but kind of our tempo just feels a little slow, isn't it? All right, here goes this double dig play that we saw last week, kind of similar. It's just this is not going to be open versus this soft defense, bro. Like I don't care what they're in 3, 4, right? And this one looks more like a cover 6. Now in our game, this would be cover 9. This guy's getting so much depth. He's playing soft. We're getting quarters over here. He's going to probably play like his zone version, like I said, of quarters. He's not really trying to play like a real quarter flat. He's just kind of like getting to a spot. I mean, he's really playing this different than I've ever seen. Like he's pedaling out to the sticks underneath. Okay, well that would make sense with this being like that cover 2 side. I still don't understand why we're doing this. This feels very much so like we're trying to bracket the underneath player almost. Kind of like they're trying to. These two guys are like working towards the number 3 receiver. I don't know what that's all about. It's kind of freaking me out. It is a 3-man rush here too, so I just saw that. Sorry. All right, so we do have an extra underneath player, but maybe that's why the backers are kind of like working towards number 3. And that's sad that they did that. And number 50, whoever, 4, 58, messed up. Like you had nothing else to do. Were you worried about Purdy running? Stay inside number 3. He got caught doing nothing. He thought Purdy was going to run. And also 58, I think, is an edge guy. He's not a real true linebacker. Yeah, he's caught in no man's land. Good job by Purdy here, letting this thing play out. Watch. No hurry. Stepped up. Up. Fake. He actually pump faked him. Nice job. Once you look at the stuff 3 or 4, 5, 6 times, it starts to make sense why the plays are working. So that was a good little just, hey, oh, ref fell. Oop, oop, woo. Is he pointing to him too? Oh, that's funny. All right. Anyway, option route. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't lead this ball back inside more, but whatever. Looks like they went to cover three rotation. Cover three, weak, as I call it. Three sky in our game or three match. Hard to tell if it's matching. They look more like a match because it looks like they were playing like a skinny call over to the left of the screen. But we can see this right here. This has to take a lot of work to find out. Is he gonna run in? Looks like Purdy might have thought he was just gonna sit down. So and that leads to, if I'm not mistaken, that isn't the last play. Clock is ticking though. Do that about. I mean, this is just four verts converted on the outside to a sit down route to sticks. And he just threw that about. I think that was just we're trying to kind of stop the clock without really stopping the clock. The Shanahan doesn't look happy. And then we get to the third down weird play of we're trying to get out of bounds. Did they really drop everybody? They had nobody on the D line. They must have seen this on film and knew this was coming. And then we get the fumbled in bounds. Clock runs off. We don't get any points. All right. I'm going to take a little break here on my end. For you, I'll be right back. All right. So we're back. Just trying to get through this. This is the bigger part of the game. So we have to go through the plays a little bit faster. Okay. What's going on here? Sorry. Let me skip ahead. All right. Motion out to a bunch set. Option around the backside, double in on the front side. You guys know it. I've talked about this concept a lot. Purdy ends up running with the ball. Okay, so you guys have just seen the channel. I've talked about this a million times, but the funny, and there's definitely there's motion out here. So we're going to get our levels concept back here with our option route concept here, right? So let's just take a look at that. Start off the game that way. Looks like the defense is going to rotate, I think, in the cover three. Nope, they didn't. They played quarters. A version of it. You can see these two guys back here in the back, secondary, are talking to each other. Probably saying we're going to play a zone version. Whatever they're communicating. Purdy ends up running. Had to do it. He was backed up in his own end zone, so made a lot of sense why he did that. This is the Fangio version of this is either B or Wasp, I think. No, not Wasp, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure this is a regular three down front. So I forget which pressure he has. We were just sending one. That's his simulated kind of creeper. I think it's called B. You guys look at my playlist from 2 years ago. I talk about this defense. First and 10 defense. Good versus the run. And then behind it, playing quarters. Sometimes they'll play cover three behind it as well. All right, 2nd and 4. Starting off in a bunch. Motion out a little bit. Okay, again, now we're hitting more of the inside runs with that big dash motion. Trying to see what this is exactly. It's hard to say what kind of tight run that was. Could have been inside zone, could have been a dual type of scheme, but I can't really tell. See if you get the downs. It could be dual, to be honest with you. Which they do run game plan wise, they'll use that sometimes. 1st and 10, got the first. I didn't look at the defense the last play. I got to keep remembering to do that. But we got this too high shell. I did the same thing, that B look. Just bringing that backer through the weak side A gap. To a screen. That, thank goodness, was not a fumble. 2nd and 10. Rotated down to cover 3. Again, we're playing a version of 3-seam. I'm sorry that the film got a little choppy here. Let's see what happened. All right, may not get this play in here. Film got choppy on me, but you can see what's happening here at the bottom. It freezes at the right time, right? We're getting some sort of like a C route, an outbreaking route against that one-on-one coverage on the outside. So the Niners were attacking it. Now I know they sit on this stuff and squat on it later, but definitely cover 3 seam there. You can see the verticals are being handled by the seam flat defenders and go from there. They got the first down there. So that's something I'm looking at here. Like, they're handling the motion with just playing a lot more 3-seam. So instead of having the nickel run back and all this stuff, they just bring the safety down. So they're starting, and that's just the way that's the way they're gonna play it. So kind of the answer to the deal. It's a great job by this safety, right? Again, you don't have any work to the flat. Open your hips to the quarterback and get depth, right? I think they're doing this even more than what I've ever seen, where they're trying to let this guy come back and play this route. Be like almost a 2-up player. So that's very interesting. That must be Fangio's answer to Shanahan's play action 2-man game, right? The Yankee concept. To have the backside guy be that guy. That's a very versatile player in their defense. As you can see, as we're talking about it, we're getting times when that guy's playing the flat. Sometimes he's playing man. Sometimes he's going back inside. So this is a very important piece. So if you want to run this style of defense, you got to have. He's kind of like that Joker player for you. I'm really shocked he still threw that ball. I guess he figured, hey, I'm gonna make a play. So, or maybe he never saw him, because that's just a very interesting throw. I don't know if you knew that was going to happen. I don't think you would make that throw. So 2nd and 10, probably going to be a run. But that's just the NFL way. Usually, incompletion on 1st down equals right on 2nd down. All right, let's go with this. Looks like we bring a little safety pressure off the edge, a little nickel pressure. A nice run by Christian. Safe man zone. They're blocking by the little combination right here on 97. The other tackle almost came through, though. Another little slip back behind him. Good job by Christian. That's the type of run you need. Gotta not let that guy bring you down, right? And then go vertical. That's a good job by Christian. That was the first real blitz that I've seen. 3rd and 1, quarterback sneak, I'm sure. They're in their kind of semi-penny package, or at least odd front. Receive from the end zone. A little bit of pause here in the film. I mean, they're shading the nose tackle to one side. I'm assuming this backer has the other A, but it doesn't look like we care. Like, that's crazy. That's weird. Low effort. 1st and 10. Motion. Not as much motion as you're used to with the Niners here. There it goes. So we go play action, 2-man route. Before we ran the Yankee concept, but now we're just going to run a stop. I mean, this is supposed to be a 7 stop. Oh boy. Talked about this in the other film. If anybody out there was watching, I was talking about number 5 doesn't sell the 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just walks into it. So the DBs are going to squat on it. If they watched film from last week, they would have seen the same crap. Look at this route. I guess he did sell it. You know what? I'm not gonna get on him. He sold it to the best of his ability. Right? And then he sat down. Now the ball should probably be out a lot sooner, but this is an example of squatting. All right. I'm going to save this for people who need to watch this, but this player is playing off, but he is not respecting any vertical route. See how he even slows down at the top of the stem? Like he knows it's gonna be something short. So he just puts himself in position to make a better break. Now the ball's thrown late, so it looks like a really bad interception, but that's just bad. Let's just see it from this view. Had to work through a little traffic. It's pretty tough, man. Purdy can't see what's going on here. He just this is an example of trusted throw. Right? Play action is a lot of crap going on. We got a tight end trying to block an edge player, which never is good. I still don't know why we do this so much in our system. I know this is a full slide. I mean, come on. 71, come on back. Help me out. Help me out, please. Jeez. Anyway, we got the corner out, sit down. He's just throwing it. I'm trusting that my route's going to win because it should. I never saw that the corner squatted and it's over. So, yep, that was a pretty bad rep. All right. Started like in a bunch, went to deuce close, came back with the dash motion just to run split zone lead. 53 is all over this. Let's watch this real quick. Looks like we're staying in the quarters coverage. He's just on it. I mean, this is when nobody goes to block him though. 44 is supposed to block him. It's a lead play, so 44 would get that backer. Yeah, that's yeah, it's not good. I mean, this is an underfront if you want to look at it that way, right? Three technique does a nice job too. Opens up the lane for 53. 17 sticks inside, stays inside. Nice job. Yeah, it's good defense. Too high shell too. Soft quarters. Stops. They have more people than they do in the box. They literally have seven blockers, right? So there's a hat for everybody, but for some reason that happened. 44. He's just assuming that the ball is going to go outside the three technique, I guess. But that's the bad thing about that motion. You can't really control yourself and kind of see it and go back into the B gap. So, all right, we get kind of a weird play here. Well, I mean, I don't know why we're not blocking the edge here at all. So the 71 tried to get 2 for 1. He saw the pressure coming here. He got his hands on him, and then he tried to go back out to 58. But this is a very simple. We're just sending a weak side pressure here. Okay. Well, that pressure screwed that option route up. I'm assuming that's an option route run by the tight end there. Same thing that you would see from the halfback, right? He sees the guys going outside, so I'm going to work inside. It's just that ball had to come out, had to come out too quick. 39. I'm assuming we're going to get like a protection look, chippers on the outside into some sort of route concept that everybody's falling down. Yeah, I'm not even going to watch that. Let me just see. I know it's a pressure. It looks like some sort of cover 1 or cover 3 pressure. Right, I got 5 guys coming. You got the press. I love the press. I was talking about this earlier, right? Just press these guys on the outside. Don't let them breathe. He trips. And that's the thing that I really can't. I really want to see what the plan is. I mean, the funny thing is that we use a lot of motion. Why don't we motion into the bunch sets on third down? Like, why do we have static receivers on third down when you know you need to get these guys off a press? We use motion on the interior for the run game stuff, but we don't really motion into routes with the receivers. All right, that was that. Not a good 2 series. Let's go on to the next one. Sorry, 2 minutes left. 1st and 10. Get kind of this wing trips look, dash motion, 2-man route. When I say 2-man route, I'm just saying there's only 2 men going deep on the route. Everything else is checkdowns. This is built off of having a good run game. So, your backers should be stepping up, but they're not. I mean, they're all sitting here, right? Looks like we're playing some version of cover 3 again. they're definitely telling the safety. So we're literally still playing a version of three match, right? He's still matching this guy, and then the corner is still matching it. They're both matching the outside receiver here, which is interesting. Why not, right? Because I mean, if it was just a corner, he'd probably get beat on his leverage. So the safety doesn't have anything else to mess with. Now, something could open up down here late, which I think it does. Oh, and my film froze, but that was the bad thing about that. So if you were going to do some sort of weird matching thing there, you got to have your inside backer get out and take that guy, which seems like he was doing earlier in the game. The backers were getting out for looking for checkdowns early, but that one got kind of messed up. So whatever this weird cover three system thing is that they're doing, kind of bit him in the butt right there. Let me see if I can get this. Was the film really working? It was working. I paused it. My fault, guys. I thought it frozen me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the backer 17. Because remember we said that before, how the safety was coming down, right? Still kind of doing matchy type stuff. And then the backer would kind of expand out, knowing that there's really no real flat defender anymore. This route would have beaten this coverage because you can see all the stuff coming out of it. So this is actually pretty good. He comes over there, right? Even if the safety was sitting down here like he should have, you get two guys going to the flat basically, right? Actually, Christian runs a corner route. That's really interesting. It's almost like it's either going to be Christian or 44 in that play. That's a well designed play. You just got to have lots of time. But I like what the thought process was there. It's almost like we're running a corner route concept, flood route, sail route concept, but out of the backfield. I like that. That's really good. You just got to have time, but it's actually a pretty good play call. I'm saying that more often than I did last week, so I really like that. All right, let's go get inside zone weak here. Quick hike. Good job by 23. Right, instead of just running into the hole where the safety's coming down, he's rotating down. Took it back. Must have been some good blocks on the inside too. Good double teams. 53 got kind of caught up in no man's land. I'm not sure what he's doing. All right, 2nd and 4. Gotta love that. So now we're in much better football now to do stuff, right? So this is the reverse, most old school speed reverse. Sky Moore is tackled pretty hard. That was his man, 27, chasing him. There you go. So now you know they're in man-to-man coverage, right? That's part of why people do a lot of jet motions. Called the speed reverse. I'm sorry, I could call it jet. All right. Short yardage. I don't remember this play, to be honest with you. Another QB sneak. You would think they would have something interesting to stop QB sneak type plays. I mean, 90s is standing up. Wow, that's crazy. Like, what did they? Oh, he probably thought it was like they were trying to get him off sides. 98? Is that his number? That's weird. All right. 1st and 10, 15 minutes to go. I think this is the touchdown play. Handoff. So they did the jet. It's so funny. We just did this twice. That's something I gotta watch Shanahan. Like he did that last time too, where he did a fake jet action and then he did a trick play. So 2 plays later, he hits him with the trick. He doesn't wait another series. Some people like to wait and set it up for later in the game. But this is overall, whatever the coverage is. We get a guy running across. So it looks like there was change of strength action. So they're playing 3 buzz, or maybe one, probably one because he keeps chasing his guy. So if that's the case, who has the tight end? Who has the running back? Technically, if this is cover 1, it should be one of the backers. Now, when I used to coach the safeties, this was his guy. I always said though, if the running back ever came outside of your work right now, it's almost like you guys got to banjo that, right? Especially off of play action. Because off of play action or some type of fake, the backers are sucked up in the A and B gaps. They're not gonna be there to help you. They're not gonna be able to play interior and then go get their running back out here. So there's that sprint play that's in Madden, or where the running back goes to the same side as the boot. That would be an exception rule for a down safety to say, hey, I got to take this guy. So, I mean, what do you look? I mean, the problem is, and I'm talking a lot because this is hard. There's a lot of action going on here, right? You see the reverse, so he's like, "All right, cool. I got the reverse. I'm gonna go make a play." Not watching Christian, and that's just really tough. They were in a bad play call too versus this. You know what I mean? Funny thing is this really man coverage? Because the corner never comes over with 15, right? You would think that he would be running over here himself, and he might run right into this guy late. I don't know. That's something I really wish I can be in the room, find out what the defense was and what happened there, because I think there was a lot of blame on a lot of different people. I'll say this: Fangio kept his defense instead of looking at kind of like what Philly, with Seattle does, and just Seattle didn't run with all this crap. They figured out a way to not run with your nickels and safeties and all that stuff, and that kind of it's like it kind of hurt the Eagles. All right, so that was a very innovative play. Very good to see it. Love that. That's really good play. Again, where did that play happen? Right. Well, let me go back real quick. If you guys watching with me, you know I talk about it. Right. The strike zone. Every coordinator has plays in this time of the field. So when you're on defense, all you need is somebody to remind you on the sideline, like, "Hey guys, be careful." You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm going back so slow. Let me let this thing. Right. It's just the time of the game, but more of with field. 30-yard line. 30 to the 30s, guys. That's where you're going to get a lot of plays like that because you got enough time to kind of still throw a deep ball and not that far. All right. So next series, motion running back out to an empty. Get a levels concept on the backside, free receiver side. So when I start using the Niners offense in Madden, I'm going to have to just try to figure out how to get this type of concept on the backside. It's good for us. The bottom, we get a little two-man route concept, whatever you think is good versus their team. Looks like they were trying to get potentially Christian over here to win that route. They could have, but it's not bad. And they're playing this soft kind of coverage here. You get this easy underneath opening here. Again, I think this is honestly their too high shell answer. Like this is where the cover two side is, or the cover four side. This is where we're going to attack. You know what I mean? And really, what you're attacking is this right here. That's the best part. This is a quick answer. If it's there, take it. But it's this part right here. Seen it on film. If I'm the defensive back coach for Seattle, I'm writing this up as the top play of their scheme, and we're working on it all week. Now, there's going to be compliments. I'm sure Shanahan's going to run a double move off of that one day, but until they do it, we're going to keep on trying to stop what we see. All right, looks like a nice little four down front, 5-man front, maybe 6-1 actually. They figured that was going to be good against the run. Yep, this is 4-3-6-1 defense. 2-2 eye techniques, really, or two techniques. Damn, Indy's pretty good, boy. Oof. A 90. Yeah, who is that guy? This one right here. No, I'm sorry. It is 90 on the other side. It's a good job by him. Carter is a little bit different. It looks like he's wearing, I don't know what the hell's going on with the numbers. Looks like he's wearing 90 as well, but I think his number is a different one. All right, let's go with 2x2, tight slot. Something that they don't I know if they realize, but you can see this from a formation standpoint. This guy has a little more width than this guy. So usually that's when the Yankee concept, maybe we'll look at it later as we go, but we're getting this over route from the guy that's tighter. And this guy is going to run run him off route, whatever it is, blaze route, post route. I would hope that they wouldn't have a tendency. That would be really easy to pick up. This is a forced play. Now they get to a cover three. It's cover three match or cover one. Hard to tell. Let me see. Is anybody blitzing? Yep. I think we're bringing five. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's some sort of natural one, right? And the corner is on him, and this is a technique we call slip. Okay, slip is when you go underneath the guy. So instead of staying on this high hip, you go underneath him when you're playing outside leverage, hoping that you would get potentially an underthrown ball and you make that play, especially on the deeper routes. I see a lot of the top corners use that technique, and it's on a tight end too, so it's also pretty easy to do that to a tight end. Yeah, that's a very bad interception. I'm sorry. I just feel like Purdy's got to not just anticipate this throw and just throw it no matter what, especially when you don't have the matchup. You got a corner versus a tight end, right? 88 to tight end, correct? Just standing as a receiver. They got him in, what they're thinking is they got him in some sort of heavy base defense, right? So we're cool. We're just going to run this route. But yeah. And I don't like how the receiver never even tried to fight for the ball to come back. He just kind of let it go, or the tight end, whatever. That's a bad interception, especially in the fourth quarter. But all right, so we get the same concept that we've been working on, just built a little bit different, right? So where's the three man side is to the top of the screen. What are we going to get? The in route, the return, and then the dig. This time I think he throws a dig. Nope, he throws a return. I'm sorry. They're sitting on it, playing a version of cover six. You got a big linebacker trying to move out there, can't make the play. At the bottom of the screen, we have not really anything that we really want. We're running like a C route. Running back is running a check flare. I do believe this one has become more of a coverage read. So we're going to read coverage. If it's too high look, we're going to hit to the side of the field. If it's a one high look, we'll look at the other side. So Niners are a progression team, but that one looks like a PSL, right? Like, or some sort of two high beater, one high beater. That's what it looks like as being. That's how I would coach it up if I had to get ready for it. All right, let's go here. Version of quarters again. Yeah, I'm lost on this. So we're getting a return route with a kind of, what is this? I don't know. 5 yard in China. It's almost like they're trying to do like he was supposed to run the dry, the shallow, and then we get the China. We get another shallow over here. I'm assuming this is going to be a fade route. It's a nothing route. I mean, he knows he's not getting the ball. And then we get the running back checking through and going to the flat. Now they do end up winning the game on a check through like that he comes back on. So kind of makes me feel like they're trying to set this thing up. It's almost like they try to make this the 3 man route concept we just talked about, where somebody's running under. That's the first read, right? If it's there, it's there. And then you have some sort of China, but the spacing on this is really weird. This is a good job by Purdy. I don't, if I heard that play call into the huddle, I would feel a little weird. I think that this has to be something from a game plan standpoint that they knew they could try to like attack what they're doing on defense. Maybe they're trying to get 27 to play no man's land. Like he's talking to the safety, like, what am I supposed to do there? Like, what was that? They're doing it for a reason, I'll tell you that. 2 man route concept again. All right, so number 5 now, gonna probably fake the 7 route concept. He actually just stutters, which I love. He knows he's squatting and he's gonna try to go by him. Wow, he did throw that ball, huh? Now, this is, I don't know if Purdy did this on purpose. I think he did. It's almost, again, we're trying to run a 7 stop concept, some sort of sit. It's the same. We're just changing up our steps. The Niners are good at this. You've seen maybe other people talk about it, right? They do this, right? And then they come and do that, right? They do this, right? And then they come out of that, right? They're sell something and then they're trying to come back later on. So this one here is I'm gonna stutter because you try to pick it off before, even though it's not the same guy. Kind of wish it was the same guy. And then I'm gonna run dig, but then Purdy stops him so that he doesn't keep on running. He throws it to his outside shoulder. So again, the ball's going kind of to the same spot. It's just how we get there is different. And that's hard because the DB has to see that, understand that. They're playing their cover three again. That's a really tough throw. I got to see how that will happen in the pocket too. 7-step drop. God damn. Kyle Shanahan, one of the rare people from under center that still goes 7-step drop. Like his name is Norv Turner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Step up, throw. I'll be honest with you, Fangio's not giving a lot of too high shells. Like he's really saying, you know what, I'm going to stay in this one high aggressive defense, and he's thinking to stop the run. I don't think he needed to do that. I think he could have stayed in the too high shell and had success stopping the run, but that's just me. I think playing some of this one high stuff is what's giving the Niners life. This looks like a version of cover zero. I mean, cover one. I'm sorry. They were bringing a blitz. They got 5-man pressure. We're just going to play cover one. Stutter go. Stutter butter. Yeah. Did we get a missed block here again? What is going on? They do the same thing. It's the same thing. They're bringing this blitz to this B gap weak. And for whatever reason, the protection scheme is not ready for this. Like, again, I'm not an expert on this, but everybody, it is 5 men out. I don't think he's part of the protection back here, but 71's caught with 2 guys. So I would think the slide would start with the guard and the guard would be there. Let me see him from the end zone real quick. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to go this way, sure, but like, what's going on there? Right? Shouldn't be that easy. I don't know if that's the version of, there's different blitzes that we know that I've studied a little bit. Um, this is not Wasp. Wasp would be from the other side, so I'm not sure what this is. Good job by Purdy, just saving himself, getting out of the down. Gotta give him props, man. He threw those picks. I didn't like him, but he's really he's opened up the game with his legs and made it so he can save the team from like not dying. Good call. We haven't thrown that many screens. The second screen of the day. That's a good call. Just kind of like give Purdy a play to kind of rest mentally and not have to make a million reads and run away from sacks. Right. I'm so surprised that the Niners don't do this at least like 5 to 7 times a game. Big Bunch got ourselves again. He hasn't really run outside zone anymore. You can see now in the second half, we're going more to the mid zone, inside zone. I think that's what that is. I don't think this is outside zone blocking. Maybe you guys know better than I would, but that path looks a little tighter. It looks like a mid zone. Look at it from this point of view. He's not attacking the outside shoulder of the tackle, is he? I think he's attacking more the outside leg of the guard. I don't know. Defensively, we're just going to sit here and our nickel. We're going to bring rotation down, right? They've been doing it all day. So we're going to play a 3 buzz. He has an interior gap. He has to make a play. And he did. I don't think 39 is the best player in the world. I'm not sure who he is. I don't know if he's been playing all year, but a little suspect. All right, we get another 5-man rush. We either get a linebacker blitz cover 1 look, which is what I think this is. Yeah. You can say it's cover 3 zone blitz. It would almost look the same if you're playing like match rules. But with this, with this guy coming in, it just makes me feel like it's cover 1. They're just locking onto their guys here. All right, sorry about that. Just wanted to see what the pressure was. We do get sacked here, of course. We get the option route again with 88. I think this had to be Kittle's thing that they were trying to do. They just said we're going to do it. But again, if you're a defensive staff, right, where they run the option routes to the two surface side. Now he's going to work out to the checkdowns. He's kind of working opposite checkdowns for a while here. The fact that they got him on the last play doesn't really surprise me. Route concept though, we got the option route bottom with the runoff, whatever. And then up here we get like I call a razor, China. Oh no, he's gonna come back in. Never mind. You would think that at some point he would run freaking fade. right? Maybe we're saving that for our Seahawks. Okay. 1st and 10. Wait, how's this 1st and 10? Did he get a first down? Okay, we'll let it go. 3-by-1 to 2-by-2. 3-man surface side is at the bottom. We're going to run inside zone. That could be more of, again, that mid zone again. Like this one actually could be outside zone. First time we're really running it to 71 side. Save it for when you need it. Love the blocking. Love this. Good job. That double team is killing 94. These guys want to sit back and not fit the run. They're going to push them right back into your lap. So this is good. This looks kind of more like it's either mid zone or outside zone. I can't really tell. This is a very small detail. The point is we're getting leverage and we're keeping it front side. But actually, the hole's so big, we just went right down the middle. But let me see what the coverage was here because it looks like they're still playing a 3 high. Why is this fit so soft? Yeah, they went to a cover 3. Sky it is. We're bringing it down weak. It's just poor technique, D-line technique, defensive technique. Just playing soft. They look tired. I remember watching the game thinking this D-line looks like they're tired on this play. 1st and 10, 4 minutes left. They also could have been playing a little. Well, let me stop. So again, this is empty, right? This is why they do this, right? They motion this guy out here like this. Now, most teams won't call an empty check to this, right? They'll treat this like it's like he's still in the backfield. He technically could still do something in here, right? So that's what makes it tough. But as we know it, and I haven't watched this at all, so I don't remember what happened here. I don't. Towards the end of the game, I kind of faded a little bit. 3-man route side, so we're going to potentially get something him running out here, here, here. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Some type of levels concept with the backside front, this side being the primary side of running a real like option route. Let's just see if they do something different. Okay. Well, they don't. This side becomes the option route side. They just have 44 running a return instead of giving him a true option. On this side, we still get the same route concept that I just told you without me even looking at it, right? We just get McCaffrey being the what? He's the first in. We're going to get somebody running like this, and I'm sure it's going to be like that. So it is the Niners' favorite route concept. They just do it out of different formations. This is a great throw by Purdy on this return, putting on the outside shoulder. Looks like we're playing a version of, that looks like man coverage again. Or it looks like cover 3, actually. So we're kind of getting this kind of, again, I keep saying cover 3, but they're doing something funky here where this guy drops down, he goes out, he has the guy that's on the ball man to man. It's almost like we're trying to double team this action, but because it's 44, he doesn't believe it. And he didn't, 40, he's, whatever. Now at the bottom, because I definitely think this is split safety coverage, looks like quarters. So this could be quarters with a check on the backside. Earlier on, I wasn't sure what it was, but it could be something like, hey, we're going to lock the corner on number 1 and play like an in and out with the backer and the safety on the low guy. That's kind of what it looks like to me. So it's like a bracket, but we're doing it on the off the ball player with backside defenders. Front side still playing quarters rules. That's kind of what I would get to if I had to come up with something. That's kind of a cool adjustment if they did, but sometimes this is the power of a team that will throw the ball to anybody because it's use check and the guy ran out. He didn't think it's a true option, right? It's not an option. If he would have ran stemmed up straight, that safety might have sat there on him because he ran the return style. He thought he was gone probably. So kind of talked myself into that one. This is a good play call. This is a classic like New England play call. They used to do this all the time. That's just a good play by 33. Again, you can get hands on guys, right? As long as you're looking at the quarterback. Hands on him. Some people would have called that pass interference, I ain't gonna lie. Because it gets a little pulley and grabby at the end there, but yeah. Big receivers, you get paid money to big body people up, man. 15. This is what you're here for, bro. You gotta win this. Route was a little sloppy too. Like you gotta push off at the top, give them something more than that. Like, that's not good, man. I still think 15 is playing hurt, like really bad hurt. Motion to 2x2. This is the route that they've been setting up. Love it. I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy that you think you can get this much time though, but whatever. Because the top of the top route down here, what is this? You got little China returns, sit downs. So they're kind of like serving as picks. So the route concept was going to be this over route to probably this to this. That's absolutely what it probably got. It looks like almost like a, what do you call this route? Nope, I don't know what we call this route. It's a red zone route, but it's going back to 23. And the fact that Purdy doesn't look at him until the very end, I don't think he really was a primary guy on this route. You don't draw this up knowing it's going to come back here, but it's there if you need it. Very innovative way. The Niners have a very innovative way to play to throw the ball short um, on inside breaking routes that are like just the delay timing of return timing, the option route timing. It can happen quickly, it can happen late, it can happen on time. That's what makes it hard for a defense to play. We don't know if this route's coming out early, on time, or late in the down, right? But there's always somebody usually doing that on most plays. And that to me is the core of what they do. I don't think the Niners get the ball back, right? I think that's it. This might be the beginning of the game. Yep, that's it. So overall, you can see Fangio's defense. I think a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, I wasn't that impressed. And then also Fangio had to make a decision. I'm going to play more cover three. I'm doing it not just to play a true cover three, but I'm also trying to get the safety to come down to potentially where the running back is, right? So I don't think it's Fangio's best play call. I thought he would have stayed after watching the Seahawks game. I thought he would have probably stayed in four more and tried to just stop the run with who he has up front and not worry about getting an extra guy down. But that's the way it is. Fangio's defense is a too high shell to start, but as you see, there's a lot of rotation down early, and they let some of that motion affect them. But overall, decent game by the Niners. A lot of stuff they still need to clean up, but it'd be interesting to see what happens next week. If you guys like this video, let me know. I know it's a long one, but I figured sometimes you guys want this. All right, I'll talk to you later.